Here with us now is Toby Swagger. He's with CBN's Operation Blessing, which is already on the ground helping the victims of the disaster there in Kentucky. Toby, thank you so much for making time to talk with us. We know you're extremely busy. You are in Bowling Green, Kentucky. 36 tornadoes tearing through a half dozen states this weekend. Toby, how unprecedented is this? And does what you're seeing compare with what you've seen in relief past efforts?
It's overwhelming. There's devastation from neighborhood to neighborhood. It's comparable to different storms, but every storm's different. There have been communities affected, like you said, in all of these states, from Tennessee to Missouri and here in Kentucky, where I'm at right now in Bowling Green.
Yeah. We know Operation Blessing has a hunger strike task force reserved for situations like this, and we understand it's already delivering disaster relief to the hard-hit town of Mayfield, Kentucky. Tell us about that work, Toby.
Yeah, there are relief loads that are coming in to Mayfield here in Bowling Green with different church partners that are on the ground. They bring those loads in, and it has immediate needs items, especially here in the first 2 to 3 days after the storm hits. There are those immediate things: food, warmth, sometimes tarps, things of that nature. And those things will be coming to these different distribution points through Hunger Strike Force to our Operation Blessing U.S. disaster relief partners to make a difference in the communities that are hardest hit.
Toby, we know in addition to church partners, you also have corporate partners as well. Operation Blessing has a disaster relief team sending Home Depot disaster relief kits. Can you talk to us about what's in those kits?
Those buckets often have cleaning supplies or whatever the immediate situation is. We have buckets that are specific to different kinds of incidents. So a flood bucket may have something different than a tornado bucket, but each of them have basic needs items like tarps from time to time, or they'll have cleaning supplies. Sometimes there's masks. Sometimes there's flashlights. It's whatever might be most beneficial for that community, for the people that are affected in that time.
Yeah, we are looking at least 85 deaths, and that number could climb as so many people, Toby, are still missing. You know, in the days and weeks ahead, as you're there on the ground, what worries you most moving forward?
That people will forget that as we get busy with our lives, as we get busy with the holidays that are coming up, that the people have been affected here in this community and in some of the smaller communities that aren't getting as much media coverage, that those people will begin to feel like they're disenfranchised, which is why it's so great when the church and organizations like Operation Blessing, the U.S. disaster relief, especially when we can go into those communities and make a difference by simply being Jesus with skin on, listening to someone's situation, taking time to pray with them and giving them a flood bucket or something along those lines to try and meet an immediate need so that they can have a little bit of their hope restored.
I've been on the ground and seen personally the work that Operation Blessing does and the help that it provides. You cannot put a price tag on all of that. Toby, real quickly, can you describe how Operation Blessing is planning to attack the situation with disaster relief? We know first there's a search and rescue, but then you also do cleaning and gutting out. Tell us about the process here.
We're currently in the assessing phase. Right now, I am here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I'm going to head to Mayfield and some of those in-between communities tomorrow. I was in Hendersonville, Tennessee this weekend looking at the different impact zones and figuring out how we could best serve those communities. And at this point, we are in that assessing phase and figuring out what resources our partners on the ground might need. And then as they have additional needs that they could request from us, we'll move forward at that time so that we can make the biggest impact that we can for the community.
Yeah. Well, Toby, we thank you for being there, and our hearts and our prayers go out to everybody there who's been affected by these terrible storms. Unprecedented when you see some of the footage, especially from the drones. So, Toby, thank you so much. And again, if you'd like to help Operation Blessing and the people hardest hit by these tornadoes, please visit ob.org. Toby Swagger with Operation Blessing, thank you.
Thank you.